If you actually want to make $20,000 per month in your business, like in the next couple of months, we need to have a chat. You would already be past the 8 to 10K month in your mark if you did these things. When you're scaling to $20,000 or more months in your business, it's no longer about how do I sign clients. And if you're at that point now, we need to chat because you have an issue with your content and marketing. But when you get to that point, it is now, how do I retain clients for years to come? How do I make sure that my product suite supports, me wanting to impact a lot of people and supports me having higher income months without constantly working and being on a hamster wheel every single month and replacing my income instead of stacking it, right? Like, they're higher level problems. And what I see a lot of people run into at this point in their business when they're stuck between $8,000 to $10,000 months is that they're not thinking higher level. They're thinking like, how do I still sign clients right now versus long term? So we're going to talk about a couple of the long term things. Number one, the major issue that I see with people at this place is like, you've kind of been winging it in your business a little bit. You've been just a little okay, just, winging it, throwing spaghetti at the wall, just, things have stuck and you're fine there, right? But you want to make more, right? So we have to understand what gets people in our audience to move to sign clients again and again and again. So again, you can't throw spaghetti at the wall anymore. You can't, ride off of like hype in your launches anymore. We have to have real launch strategy. So when it comes to strategy, the thing that we really want to focus on at this point is your messaging. What is messaging that actually connects to a high level buyer that actually converts again and again and again? Because a lot of times I see what people do at this point is that because they're, subconsciously they're a little bit fearful of the next level, they retract their messaging, they revert back to lower level messaging where they're calling in this client that consistently, is like needing hand holding or is like driving them up the wall or like isn't the actual ideal client. But because they're in this like kind of play field of let me just throw spaghetti at the wall, they'll take on the client and they'll continue to take on those clients versus, up leveling their messaging to speak to a client who will pay you, $22,000 to $25,000 to $3,000 per month or pay you in full a $20,000 container or something like that, right? To like stack that income and have those higher level clients that don't just say like, I can't pay this. Like, they'll do whatever they can to make it work because they see your value. So at this point in your messaging, you have to start speaking to higher level problems. You have to help people understand the value without convincing, because a higher level buyer does not want to be convinced. They know exactly what they need. They're typically just trying to find the right person for the job, which messaging all stems from how you view yourself subconsciously, because all communication, all messaging, all the words that we use, our body language comes from a subconscious place. So 88 to 95% of our communication is subconscious, which means that your messaging is never going to be good if deep down you're doubting yourself, or you feel like you're not worthy of your next level success, or you feel like you can't actually get a transformation for your clients, or you can't actually support the high level client. It does not matter how many times you tweak your words or whatever, that is going to be felt in your messaging because people are also making buying decisions from a subconscious place. So they're watching your content and they're subconsciously already making a decision of she's inspirational versus I need to pay her right now and she's the only option. I had a client recently who told me that when she was watching my content, it was like it spoke to her at a level that made her feel like she couldn't not work with me. She had to work with me. And that's what we want to do in your messaging by having that level of specificity, having this level of confidence of like, I can change lives, and letting that shine through in your messaging and with clarity as well too. So you have to have that clarity with your ideal client. The second piece to this is launch strategy. When you are scaling, you cannot just have like a, again, throw spaghetti at the wall launch strategy. You can't just rely on guesswork or hype. You have to actually understand a buyer's journey. You have to actually understand what the buyer types are in your audience, because you're going to be creating content that reflects that. And you're not just like showing up every single day saying like, here's why my offer is awesome. Like, you're actually creating content pieces that convert, like problem awareness content, educational content, activational and agitational content, and not educational content from the place of like 3 tips to do this. You're actually educating and showcasing that you are the authority on that topic so people build trust with you. And then you also have to understand sales strategy as well too, because we have to actually convert. Like, once we take the people through a buyer journey, there's, conversion, and that has to either happen through, a funnel, that has to happen through face to camera video, that has to happen on your stories. The way that I typically sell and see conversions is either through my email list or through my stories, but I have to be comfortable selling because selling is service. I sell almost every single day. You will hear me selling, and that doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother my audience. That's what I'm here for. I'm a brand. So, with that launch strategy, the 4 phases of a launch that you go through, it should be repeatable as well too. There's a reason why, I have had the same group program called TVA for 7 rounds now. So almost 4 years. It's gone through 7 rounds, and each of those launches have been $35,000 plus that have been in revenue in my business. And my mastermind launch has even been an $80,000 plus launch, and it's always sold out. And the reason that I've never had this issue of like group programs not selling out or offers in my business not selling out is because I know how to launch, and it's a repeatable strategy, and it's super, super simple. You're making content and marketing and messaging way too freaking hard. And the third piece to this, which kind of ties everything together, is conviction and belief in yourself. Marketing and content and messaging is so freaking easy if you have clarity in your ideal client, like I already mentioned, and you have confidence and conviction in yourself. If you get on your stories or your Instagram or your TikTok every single day and you're like, I am life-changing, I can change your life, I can do this thing for you, this is what I change, this is what I don't stand for, this is what I do stand for, and you scream how amazing you are to the rooftops every single day, you will see sales. You will. But 99% of the time you're like skirting around sales, and you like don't want to say like, this is what I really do, because you don't want to own it, because what if you can't provide the transformation? So you like, use this watered down language, and you don't like fully own the fact that you're incredible at what you do. So that's half the battle, is like building this confidence and conviction in yourself. And again, because that reflects in your messaging, how you show up, how you sell, that is the foundation to everything. This is why my clients see really insane results in their business that is sustainable too. So they're not hitting like a high income month one time. They're creating income months that are sustainable and high for months and months and months and months and months and years and years and years, because they're just repeating this strategy, right? And then they're building upon it. So they're making tweaks and changes to allow for, that foundation to grow. So they're getting higher and higher and higher and holding more and more and more, right? So like one of my clients that's worked with me for a couple of years now, when we first started working together, she hit $5,000 months in her business. Then she took a little break. We started working together again. I showed her a few tweaks that she needed to make. She hit 8, then she hit 13. And we're just going up from there, because we're making these minute tweaks and like building a brand for the thought of $30,000 months or 40 or 50, not just 5. So all in all, this is your sign that you need support in your business to scale. You just do. You're too in it to see your own gaps. You're too in it to see like where your launch strategy isn't working, where your gaps are in your mindset, where your gaps are in your messaging. But someone else can do that so quickly and easily and help you, bring power to your marketing and messaging and see conversions really, really quickly. And this is all the work that we do in my mastermind. We start with the foundation of the mindset and the subconscious work, so that can lead in your messaging and be really simple. So you have these business, simple business practices that just create this repeat success again and again for months to come, and high income months again and again for months to come. But we don't do it with the guesswork. We don't do it with, just throwing spaghetti at the wall. We actually look at, what do I want for my life? What do I want for my business? What income goals do I want to hit? And then we build a strategy from there, starting with this massive business audit that I take my clients through. So we're looking at all of the gaps. So if you're curious in getting that level of support in your business, comment mastermind, because this is what we do together. And the mastermind starts in early February. And I'm so excited to support some amazing coaches and women in this to hit their first $20,000 month.